Hello and welcome back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. So, we have a couple of things on our docket today. We have to read all of the books that we've got. We have to speak to Nora and decide her fate. There's a little bit of Crusade management to do. And there is a bag of holding which remains unbought. So all of these things are things we'll need to do. Also, how much money do we have? Yeah, I think the bag of holding is literally the only thing we're going to be able to buy with the money that we have, so that's fine. We won't worry about the other things I had in mind. Right. But before we do that, let's go over here to the Crusade management and start with the Crusade management that we have to do. Now, what do we have to do? Well, there is another bit in the Crusade that we have not yet seen, and that's because it doesn't make it very obvious. We do also have one of these events to look at as well. So, when we click here, you can see that we have Dresden, and you can see we have stats and buildings. Now this is because we have things that we could potentially build. So let's have a look at this. So we click in here and we get this rather unique thing that we haven't seen before. Unless you played Kingmaker, in which case this should be very familiar to you. This is a building screen where we can build a whole bunch of these things that will give us, you know, benefits that may or may not be beneficial or useful, but things that we should do. Now, let me just have a look. We have 10,000 finance points, 363 material, and 33 energy. Okay, so that's for what these cost. Now, there are some that I've been recommended, which one of them is right down here. It's a Teleportation Circle. A network of teleportation circles connects the Crusades forts, allowing forces to be transported quickly to different sections of the front. A teleportation circle allows the commander's party to teleport to this fort from anywhere on the map. Just a little point here. It takes 5 days to complete, and after that point, at any time we like, we can teleport back to Dresden. That sounds amazing. Like that is a huge benefit. I also assume if we were to build it in other forts, it would mean at any time we like, we can teleport to another fort, which is just fantastic. So it's definitely something that we need to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here and we're just going to build it. So in 5 days we then have that ability. Now, what other ones do we need? Well, the other ones that we need are under the main section. So main archery, main barracks, and main stables. Why do we need these? Well, without these three things, we cannot recruit any units. As in, without the main barracks, we cannot recruit our, I think it's shield bearers are the ones available there. So we could not recruit any shield bearers. Without archery, we cannot recruit archers. Without the main stables, we cannot recruit mounted units. Which is a pretty big negative, I would say. Right? Right. Now, apparently there are also things that give benefits to these ones. Like, let me see if we can find one. I'm just trying to see where it is. Oh, and it increases finance points by 200 if there are no buildings that provide recruitment growth in the fort. That's an intriguing one. Obviously useless for us because we're going to want to build in Dresden. I'm just trying to see if I can find one that has a benefit from something being next to it. I might not be able to find it, or it might be something else that I've missed. Yeah. Let me see. Oh, wait, is that it? Ah, there we go. An arsenal provides +1 bonus to AC for all trainable units in adjacent buildings. There you go. So it's this kind of benefit, which is very, very good for us, and we should consider that when we're building our buildings, that we may need to build them so that we can have other buildings next to them, if that all makes sense. So, let's start by building some main barracks, because I think being able to build troops is a good idea. So we'll build them there, and I'm thinking we'll build like the archery one here, so that we can place these buff buildings either side, then maybe place mounted units here, which isn't quite as good, but could still have 3 things to the side of it, which sounds good. I believe adjacent means, in this case, adjacent means like up and down, not diagonally. So, that's fine. Let's have a look here. So we need material points to be able to build it. If we want both of these, how much would it cost us if we want 600 more material points? If not, we can just wait a little bit. Material points, if I wanted 600, it would cost us half of everything we've got left. I think I'm going to hold off and we'll build them later. But I'm definitely looking at that thinking we need to find a way of getting material points. Cool. Right. And now we back out of here. Where's this taking us? Is this taking us back to the Crusade management screen? Yeah. So we can also do building in all of these, like all of these little forts here, which all sounds very cool. Wait, can we build in this one as well? No. Okay, so that is... Okay, so we got that one there. We got the Hamlet of Sork over here. We got Villareth's Fort Outpost here. Can we build in Canabras as well? No, Canabras cannot be built in. Interesting. Just seeing if we got anywhere else around here. No, I think that's roughly about it. Okay. So it might be worth in this one, given that we have a lot of recruiting in Dresden, making this one something like our finance point one. Maybe we put the inn in it. It's probably going to be smaller as well, so we could do something like that. We're not going to want to put a teleportation circle here, because, I mean, realistically, when are we going to want to teleport here when we can teleport to Dresden? It just doesn't make any sense. So there's a lot of different options that we can do. It doesn't really matter right now, because we're out of resources, but there are other options for us to do. Right. Let's have a look at our event here, the Touched One. An odd and somewhat touched priest has sought an audience. In a dream he saw himself eradicate the Worldwound, and he is convinced that it was an omen. With the help of the relics he borrowed from his temple, he was able to make the arduous journey to Dresden, and now he is asking the commander to keep them safe while he is away on his quest to fight evil. So, we can agree and let the priest go to his death, which is chaotic as well, where we get Relics of the Blessed One, which is a Holy Disruption mace, Heavy Mace +3. We can convince the priest that his endeavor is doomed. We get finance points for that. Or convince the priest to join the army. Okay. So this gets us, as income increases by 20, so I think that means that this would increase by 20. As in that, this number, not this number, like the per day income. Okay. Unless it just means you get 20 finance points, which seems fairly low. All generals gain +1 level to the reduction of losses feat. Infirmary size increase. I hope that this applies to every general we get from this point onwards, which is why I'm going to take it. I don't think the finance point increase is that good, just looking at how many points we get right now. And I think that the relic is by far the worst choice given our party. So we will convince the priest to join the army. Arushale was able to convince the priest that he had interpreted the dream wrong. His mission was indeed to travel to the Worldwound and fight it, but he read the metaphor of closing the wound too literally. His true purpose is not to bear this burden solely on his own shoulders, but to join the crusade and do his part in achieving victory over the demons by, for example, serving as a healer. Wonderful. That sounds like a fantastic ending for that one. Where are other decrees going? Okay, so we got 12 days on studying Sword of Valor, but we have nothing else going right now. So we can either do Orders to Erebeth, which is 7 days, or we can do Military Tribunal. Military Tribunal does cost us material points, but might get us something cool here. It would get us the Military Tribunal feat. If we go Orders to Erebeth, we can potentially get some stuff going with Erebeth here. Let's see where we're going here. I think I might go Military Tribunal. Once a traitor, always a traitor. A lawbreaker is a criminal for life. Thus said the commander in the fight for the Lost Chapel. And then she ordered military tribunals to be organized within the army. Now that Dresden is free, the commander's advisors finally have the opportunity to carry out this order. Wonderful. It costs us a little bit of finance, but we have a lot of finance going. Also some materials, but it doesn't really matter that much. I suspect if we want anything else from our material points, we're going to have to, do something else to get it. And apart from that, I think we're fine. We're probably, realistically, going to have to get, more money. And then we can transfer that money into material points. I think that's probably our way forward, but we'll see. Right, issue decree. Wonderful, so that's 5 days and 12 days. So that would seem like we are now ready from a crusade perspective to leave and go and do something else. What else, I'm not entirely sure, but it seems like it's the right time. Explore the map a little bit. Right, so let's leave here. And while we do, I want to talk about Greybore, because some people have told me that by starting his quest, we have triggered a timer. And that timer is a timer to finish the Dragon Quest. However, I have read online when I was trying, I thought, okay, I'll try and see exactly how long I've got, so at least I'm working with full information. Online I saw that the timer may not actually be real, and it may be flavor-based, and that was 1 month ago that I heard, and people were talking about it in that way. So it may or may not be true. We'll have to see exactly how true it is when we get there. But I think that a sensible option is just to carry on as we would anyway. If we happen to complete the Dragon Quest, then, you know, fantastic. If we don't happen to complete it, then, you know, that's probably not great. But what I'm meaning is we'll just go through the game at a steady pace and not, you know, just take our time with it. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Oh, wait, I also need to wait so I can do this and this event over here. Now, apparently if we hover over this clock, we might be able to see the time. Ah, there we go. So the time is currently 8:50. So we do need to wait about 9 hours. Okay, so we can wait some time on the other map, I think. Right, but before we do that, let's head over here and speak to Wilsir Garms. Now, Wilsir Garms should have something for us. If we go into, I think it's this one. Yes, he has the Bag of Holding. Wonderful. Costs us 25,000. We don't need to worry about the 25,000 that we need to keep because we don't need it just yet. So we can sell him that. And we can sell the Keen Composite Bow back and this Ring of Protection 1. Cool. A little bit of a trade. We lose a lot of money, but I think it's generally a good idea because now look how much extra we can carry. And that's just us. I mean, if we had our full group, we could obviously carry even more, which is great. Right. Out here, and it's time to go. Wait, am I going the wrong way? Yeah, I can go this way. It's fine. Yeah, as long as I go through this door. Right. And now we're going to the prison to basically decide what we're doing with Nura. Right. Through here and... Ooh, also check for loot, check for loot, check for loot. No loot. Alright, check for loot over here. No loot, no loot, no loot. Okay, let's go. Prison. An event or what's happening here? Nope, nothing. Oh, we can see the aura around people. No way. Almost like they're criminals. Shocker. I mean, if she didn't have an aura around her, we would be very worried at this point. Hey, Nura. Nura bares her teeth like a cornered rat. Come to gloat. I need information. Do you? And why would I give it to you? Because helping me is your only chance to earn a pardon? How about a deal? You give me information, I give you freedom? I have many ways to make you talk. Would you like to experience them for yourself or just tell me everything? Think about it and answer your own question. So, you're just here to toy with me, you scumbag. Yes, I'm at your mercy. You can send me to the gallows or to the rack. But, you think I'm going to roll over just to save my hide? And what's to stop you from finding out everything you want and then hanging me all the same? On second thought, you know what? I don't care. I don't care about you, or the demons, or myself, especially not myself. What you want? Well, who do you work for? The Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth, cultists of Baphomet. Some serve him for rewards, others serve him for under dire threats. Some fools even think that they'll earn transformation into demons. I only serve because it was my chance at revenge. The Grand Master leads the Templars. He is a mysterious figure said to be more of an ideologue than an actual commander. All the cultists I know answer to a woman named Jerabeth. I never saw her myself, but I heard that she is dazzlingly beautiful, and when she speaks you believe her every word, even if you know that she's lying through her teeth. I have absolutely no idea where to look for her, but I know there is someone much more powerful and dangerous who all the common followers never see. Rumour has it it's Baphomet's flesh and blood daughter. Something like reverence seeps into Nura's voice. Minago also gives me orders, but I don't think I can tell you anything new about her. You met her a few times already. Are there any other cultists in the Crusader army besides you? I think so, but everyone I knew about is being caught by the Eagle Watch. Urbeth sent a lot of us to the gallows, but Baphomet will always find new servants. Always. Anyone could be a cultist, even Urbeth herself. Odd thing to say, now I'm starting to suspect. You think you can tell your friend from your enemy? Nura chuckles cruelly. Think again. Who's the leader of Deskari's cultists? Deskari's cultists are dumb meat. They can't fight. They can't hide, only fight. But there are others among them, adepts of a higher rank, intelligent, dangerous wizards, hiding somewhere in the Worldwound. They are led by Xanthir, the Plagued One. He isn't human. I don't know what he is, but he's not human, that's for sure. And they say he doesn't even have a human body, only a mass of insects swarming under his robes. Okay. Who was that huge demon that attacked us during the battle? That was a Baelor named Darazand, the leader of those poor creatures who had been ordered to fill the ditches of Dresden with their own bodies and break the walls of the city with their own heads. He had them run drills every day, and every day they had to scrape someone off the ground. You're lucky that dwarf chased him off. Darazand alone could hold off a small army. He'll be back, and all of you will be as good as dead. Demon hordes keep attacking us without warning, as if they're appearing out of thin air. Do you know how they're doing it? I can't say for sure, but I've heard rumors. There's this place called Molten Scar where the grey road makes a sharp turn and forks. It must be hard to miss. It's a big gorge with lava flowing at the bottom. A Vrook sorceress has her lair there. If you continued your offensive beyond Dresden, the Vrook was supposed to organize an army at your flank and cut you off from behind. I don't know what that means. Maybe she maintains a rift there. Okay, no questions. Nura shrugs without saying a word. Well, you've broken more than a few laws. I see the glow in your aura. Like I give a damn what you see or what laws of yours I've broken. If you want to execute me, just do it. And if you don't, get out of here and leave me to rot in this prison in peace. We could execute her. Or we could leave her in prison for just now for information. You may live for now. Okay. Stop playing games. Just kill me and get me over it. And get it over with. I think we're just going to leave her in prison. I don't think we're going to kill her. Right now, anyway. She might still have information for us. Is this actually a quest or is this a thing? Just like a thing that we can do. I believe that this is what would be described as a thing currently. Yeah. Find out what the merchant was trying to tell you. Find and convict guilty in Dresden. That's fine. We don't need to worry about these. That's fine. It's fine. Yeah, yep. That's all okay. Yeah, so she doesn't actually have a quest, so I think we're going to leave her here. It's more interesting to leave her alive, I think, and we don't need to make a decision about her right now. If we kill her, that's it.
Let's move.
She's really not going to cause any harm in that prison, I think. Maybe that's a bad decision, but hey, that's where we're at. I also do love that we can just be like, I accuse you, and then our options are, well, are you going to kill her? No, and then that's it. Oh, hello. Lady Kenomi is engrossed in reading some kind of letter. Upon noticing you, she frowns nervously for a moment, then greets you with a graceful bow. Commander, how may I be of service to you? What's your role in my army? Oh, don't get me wrong, Commander, but I'm not your soldier. I serve Her Majesty Queen Galfrey. She sent me to head the diplomatic council of the Crusade and consult with you on particularly sensitive matters. What's the diplomatic council and why do I need it? To solve matters of politics, of course. I think we've already been through this. I'm just going to click through these ones because I think we've already been through those two. But the rest of them we haven't been through. There we go. Tell me about yourself, Lady Kenomi. Lady Kenomi lowers her eyes in a show of modesty. It's unbecoming for a diplomat to talk about themselves at length, but how am I to refuse you? I come from Tianzia, from the noble Kitsune. Yes, we've already heard this one as well. Okay, I've actually already read this. What are you reading? We haven't done that. That is a state secret, but for you, I can offer a hint. Every single day I receive dozens of classified diplomatic missives from all countries supporting the Crusade. Cool, I have a question regarding diplomacy. I'm happy to oblige. I'm always willing to talk about my craft. What's the current situation in Mendev? Things aren't terrible for a nation that has been at war with a demonic invasion force for a century. The people are weary of taxes. The army continues to pay tributes and blood. Many noble families are dying out, which breeds inheritance disputes. However, the crown stands strong and its authority remains high. The nobles are ready to follow Her Majesty's orders, and the Royal Council, comprising the closest and most trusted servants of the Queen, governs the nation sensibly and astutely. Why are you so fascinated by politics? Is this something all Kitsune share? Not at all. We Kitsune are predators and our hunting spirit is strong, but unfortunately chasing rabbits in the fields is rather boring, vulgar and unfashionable. Politics is a hunt of a much more dignified sort, refined and captivating. Whenever I pick up the quill to write a letter of protest, ooh, I feel like I'm ready to go for my praise throat. So invigorating. I'm not comfortable with the Royal Council imposing its will on me. Please don't paint the situation in such a bleak light, Commander. The Royal Council does not seek to hinder you, it merely suggests the most sensible course of action. The members of the Royal Council have been serving Her Majesty for many years and have proven their wisdom. While your attention is focused on the war, they think about Mendev's future. Listen to their words and there will be peace between you. You don't look like a soldier and you're different from my other advisors. You're right, I'm not a soldier. Warfare has always been too bloody for my tastes. I prefer the intricate tapestries of politics. Proposals with double and triple agendas, clashes of ideologies, and long-term strategizing. But they say that war is merely a continuation of politics, which is why my duties have brought me to your headquarters. No more questions. Kitsune are a rare sight in Mendev. Lady Kanomi shrugs. I'm a child of passion and a curious people, or passionate and curious people. We live everywhere. You are just not aware of our existence. You're not the first to have taken an interest in my race. Your companion Nenio has already interrogated me. A most amusing individual. Truly, we Kitsune are incapable of normalcy. We find our passion and surrender to it entirely, mind and soul. Although in Nenio's case, I fear the mind was lost along with common sense. Alright, well, that was a cool person to speak to. We got anybody else to speak to now? I just was curious. Not anyone that's on our map. Okay. Interesting that Seer is on our map, but nobody else is. Okay. Like none of the other ones in his class are, if that makes sense. Okay. So being around here, what's the time? It's been 2 minutes since last time we were here. Wonderful. Right, let's head in. And then I believe on our list next is to read some books. And to move forward time. So, let's get in here and read some of the books that we've got remaining. I think a lot of the ones that we picked up were duplicates, so we can probably ditch those, but we'll see. Right. If we've already read it, then we'll just merely chuck it in here. So let's start with this first. Oh, I did find, by the way, a teleport back here. If you use the rest screen but don't rest, you will teleport into your room, which we should have done. But I just thought I'd point that one out. Right, let's see. So the first one is the Chronicle of Failure. I don't believe that we've read a Chronicle of Failure. No, okay. Next is the Cooking Almanac. We have 100% read it. Yeah, we actually have 4 copies now. Crusade Chronicles. We have read it. What's the next one? Know Thy Enemy, a Crusader's Brief. We might have read that one. Yep, we have. Next one is Night of the Witch. I'm almost certain we have. We have. Prodigal Sons. We have read. Sarkoris Lost. I actually saw that while we were hovering over it. We have read that. Okay. Soldier Humor. We have not read because it's not one of these 3 red books, I believe. Yep. Okay. Next up, The Adventures of Brim the Crusader. I don't think we've read that one. I might be wrong, no? Yeah, no Adventures of Brim. And then The History of the Worldwound. It was the same color, so I should have checked them both at the same time. History of the Worldwound is in fact red, so we've got those 3. Wonderful. Right. Well, just 3 books. Let's read through them. Let's start with A Chronicle of Failure Anonymous. Oh yeah, we also still haven't rested. Back from when I said we needed to rest in order to fix up a few issues with ourselves. So yeah, we should probably rest at some point. Anyway. A notice in large letters on the book's binding reads, "This book is banned within the borders of Mendev." Taken from the account of a noble Mendevian warrior, veteran of 2 crusades who was grievously wounded and is currently receiving treatment in a hospital in Andoran. The First Crusade, intended to purge the lands of Sarkoris of the Demon Scourge, was called upon in 4622. The loss of Adoran, or Aroden, was still a raw wound in the hearts of the faithful. and those who answered the call of the Church of Iomedae channeled their grief and fury towards a new cause, the defense of Mendev and the liberation of the Kelid lands from the spawn of the Abyss, who, at that time, were reveling in the ruins of Sarkoris. Many answered the call of the Inheritor's followers, and fought under the banners of the Crusaders. Illustrious warriors ventured forth into lands captured by the demon pestilence, bringing with them cleansing fire and long-absent hope. Ere long, the filthy hordes were driven out of the western reaches of Mendev into the Sarkoran steppe, and beyond as far as the Threshold Fortress, which to this day remains the beating heart of the Worldwound. In 4630, having pursued the demons beyond the north mounds of Sarkoris and secured the borders, the Church of Iomedae declared the First Crusade complete. But alas, what the valiant liberators thought was the closing chapter to a victorious campaign was but the prelude to a tragedy that is unfolding today before our very eyes. 2 years ago, an endless wave of demons poured forth from the north mounds into Kelid's plains. The fortresses that had so recently stood strong on Mendev's borders were washed away in this unstoppable flood. The Second Crusade was called up without delay, but it was too late. The source of the corruption, the Worldwound, had opened its putrid maw wider to disgorge not scattered hordes, but full-fledged armies led by monstrous generals. The Second Crusade goes on, but the moral of Golarion's defenders is at its lowest ebb. Neither the Church of Iomedae nor the courageous Crusaders have the power to overcome the demons that have now overrun Sarkoris. There'll be no turning point in this war. All we can do now is wait for death on the borders of Mendev, which has not yet bowed down before the hordes of the Abyss, and pray to the gods that the Worldwound does not expand yet again, delivering new horrors into the world. Ah, okay, so I see why this was banned, but it was banned because it was at the end of it was during the Second Crusade. So I was thinking, like, why would it be banned now? Because it's only talking about the problems of the First and Second, which we read about in the history. But it's because of when it was published. It was only published, 18 years after the First Crusade was called. That's a much different story, I think. Okay. Now we've got soldier humour. There once was a ramhead lad named Baphomet. Everyone laughed at Baphomet, both demons and cultists alike. Baphomet cried a lot and then ran to his mama, Lamashtu. "No one likes me. They say I'm strange." And to that Lamashtu said, "You're perfectly fine, my boy. Just please quit your bleating, or better yet, go chew some more grass." Okay. There once was a demon named Deskari, and his swarm was driving him crazy, all buzzy and bitey. No matter what he tried, he just couldn't get rid of them. So he went to a demon healer for some poison. A week passed, then the healer asked him, "How's the poison? The locusts all gone now?" And Deskari said, "I drank the whole bottle and I completely forgot about those pests. Thing is, now I need something for this killer constipation." Badoom doom ch. Deskari says to Baphomet, "Looky here at these nags I bought from my stables. Pure demon stock. If you mount one, it'll get you to the edge of the abyss in a flash." Big deal. Lamashtu is so much better. Once I mounted her and I got promoted to Demon Lord. Badoom doom ch. I kind of feel like you need some kind of, like, it's a joke, maybe a laugh track. Once some cultists caught a Mendevian Crusader and went about torturing him. "Tell us when we should attack you." "Right now our fortresses are ruined, our cities are starving, and people are fleeing. We could really use some prisoners." A soldier asks his officer, "How come Baelors have red skin?" The officer says, "You see, there are these monkeys with asses that are bright red. But Baelor's skin is all red, exactly because a Baelor is one big ass." Oh, what humour. Right, and now we have the adventures of Brim the Crusader by Nels Cramier. When the entire retinue had barged into the tent, everyone commenced their hollering at the same time. The commanding officer, who wasn't prepared for this sun barrage, gasped for air in righteous indignation for the first few minutes, then, once his lungs were finally full again, barked with such force that all fell silent. In the ensuing quiet, Brim took the initiative and reported hastily. "Sir, Private Brim reports, we've caught an abricandillo." The stern quartermaster, having caught the scoundrel responsible for the chaos red-handed, was about to express his outrage, but it was too late. As soon as he heard about the captured demon, the officer demanded to see the quarry immediately. The retinue, joined by the officer, his guard, secretary, courier, and a groom who happened to be passing by, advanced to the outskirts where the recent events had taken place. Upon seeing the huge demon thrashing about in his magical cage, the officer couldn't help but exclaim in delight. Except the spiteful quartermaster then pushed his way through the crowd after all and nasally whined in the officer's ear. "Sir, just look what costs these buffoons. Look what cost these buffoons caught one lousy demon. At what cost these buffoons caught one lousy demon." The officer took his eyes off the abracandillo and looked around and then threw his hands up. "What's all this, Private Brim?" "Sir, what do you mean?" "What's this massive pit?" "That was our first trap. The abracandillo was supposed to drop down once he'd seen the bait. Took a lot of effort, this pit. We broke 2 shovels, all for naught." "And why are the shrubs smoking?" Once the abracandillo figured us out, he chased us around, throwing his magic all over the place." "And why is the tree broken?" "Because that jerk tried to pull me down from it after I climbed up with the loot." "Hold on, why would you climb it with a loot?" "Well, first of all, I was bait. I played some marches to provoke the abracandillo's hatred for all things of beauty. And second, I was running from a demon, so I couldn't leave the loot. I'd borrowed it from the bard in our regiment, and he packs a good punch, that one." The officer frowned, ignoring the quartermaster's snivels. "Right," he exhaled at last. "Dispose of the demon. Private Brim is to be rewarded. All the equipment lost by him and his mates is to be deducted from his pay. And will someone please put out these blasted shrubs already?" Okay. Cool. Did we get any new abilities? We did not. Alright. Just pure lore books. Which is its own reward, in a way. Right. We have nothing else here. These are elven notes. These are elven notes. I believe that we're all set. Map of the unknown lands. Yes, I believe we're all set now. Cool. So now we've done that, I'm going to rest here, which might still not bring back our levels, but we're going to rest here at least until the evening, and then we'll see what we're going to do. Now, one other thing I want to do is just check that everybody, before I rest, check that everybody with a spellbook is all spelled up. They should be, but, you know, they might not be. You don't have a spellbook that we need to look at. You don't have one either. You're fine. You don't have a spell book. You are... Oh, see? We have a level 4 spell completely untaken. Yeah. Did I take on her? I did take enduring spells, but it won't activate yet. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, because not that it matters for that spell. Okay, let's see. Could take Stone Skin, I suppose. But it would be much better with enduring stuff, I think. Beyond that, I don't know. Maybe we take this? Well, I mean, your purpose is to be a melee character now, right? Yeah, so anything that isn't melee is kind of bad. I guess I could just take another, well, False Life. I guess I could just take another False Life. That's fine. Then 5th level you have. Seela. You're all set. I'm not really worried about what the spells are, but as long as they have all the slots filled, that's really all I care about. Oh, the other thing I want to check is your other spellbook. It's just uses per day. Perfect. Right, rest. I don't know why I came into that room to do the rest. Let's see how long it's going to make us rest. 9 hours. That'll make it like... If we go... That'll make it like 5 o'clock? Sure. Let's rest for 9 hours. I don't need to make anything special. We'll just make it a hearty meal for just now. Right, begin resting.
Come at me with scissors again. It may be the last thing you do.
I don't quite understand what you mean, Gnome Boy. Reformulate your proposition about the possibility of my death more clearly. And turn around. I need to cut off a lock of your bleached hair to compare it to the unbleached sample.
Oh dear. That's putting your life into your own hands then. Right. So, we've now rested. Levels have not come back, which is fine. That would only have happened if they were temporary levels off, which they don't appear to be. So we need to get 4 levels back, potentially.
March on.
Okay. We could do that in two ways. We can do scrolls or spells. I suspect we're going to have to do scrolls. Also, what time is it now? Yeah. Okay. Let's try this. It might... I don't know if this is going to count as evening. I wonder if you can just wait time. Rather than skipping a day, just be like, I'm going to wait. Oh, wait, we can... There's somewhere to wait here, isn't there? Also, yeah. Oh, yeah, there's like something in here. Skip time. That's fine.
Onwards.
We will try that. If this does not count as evening. Which it very well might not. Okay, that's fine. Probably doesn't count as evening. Skip time. There we go. That's evening. Do I need to reload the area? Okay, that's fine. You? I suppose he said night. This guy said night. Okay. Well, I guess we will wait till it is actually nighttime. So we'll go like... another 2 hours is definitely nighttime. Then move our way over here. Do I need to leave and re-enter maybe? Okay. Maybe I will leave and re-enter the area. That's my next plan. So it's definitely as late as we can make it. See if we have anything else in here. No, nothing else in here. Okay. I was checking for our levels. Actually, on that one, sorry, my negative levels. I should have said what I'm actually looking for. Head outside to the streets. So we've now reloaded the outside area, in theory. So this should have reloaded the NPCs.
Let's move.
So now we should be able to check what's going on over here. Let's wait and see what happens. If we say we're going to do it, we're going to do it. Okay. We've seen that before. I'm just seeing what happens if we let it go through. Okay. So maybe I just have to wait for this event to play out? Maybe. Yeah, I can just sit here. Maybe I need to be here at a certain time. Listen to us and you'll be fine, my friend. Okay. Keep going. Anything else? Okay, they're just repeating. So what does this actually say? Must discern the subtle hints of when and where a crime will take place and arrive at the scene at a specified time. Okay. Give me a clue. Okay. Drunken shouting around here at night. They promise to get to the bottom of this. There's something happening here every night after midnight. Oh. Okay. Okay. It's after midnight. We were 3 minutes off. There we go. For last time, where is the money? Do I need to shake the money out of you? I'm tired of waiting. You do understand that if you don't give us what we want, there will be others. See, right now we're protecting you, but if we're gone, they'll pay you a visit. And then what are you going to do? And just waiting for the line to finish. I'm assuming we jump in after this line. Get out, the commander will find out about this, and then you'll be in trouble. And next line. There we go. Noticing you, the soldier lowers his fist. Commander, hail. We were just, checking. The merchant brushes himself off. Don't believe them, Commander. I'm Jail Iritel, remember? The merchant. You actually came. You must have picked up on my hints after all. Iritel, what's going on here? The same thing that happens every night, Commander. They come here again and again, and each time they try to beat the gold out of me. I demand justice. Put them behind bars. I'm ready to listen to your excuses, privates. We were patrolling. He rushed in, probably because he thought we were the ones causing a ruckus. Merchant clenches his fists. Liars. Every night they come and extort money from me. They threaten to set my cart on fire and even kill me. Do something about them, Commander. You shall stand trial before the army of Dresden. Now we have to judge the extortionists. Oh, here. Okay. Privates Viram and Urwart hereby stand accused of extortion and threats. The victim, the merchant Iritel, has accused them of threatening his life and property, and of regularly extorting large sums of money from him. The commander can personally testify to these charges. Defendants, what do you have to say for yourselves? It's all lie. The damned merchant wants to dispose of us because we caught him red-handed with scrolls that are I see, Commander. You want to know my opinion? Scum like this belong in prison. That's not what the rules in our book say. The rules in our book say that they should be banished. So let's see what we got. You shall return every last coin to the merchant, then you should go to prison. Return every last coin and then leave Dresden. There shall be no thieves or extortionists in my army. Or, everything will be handed over to the treasury and then you will leave Dresden. No, you're going to give it back to the merchant and leave Dresden. There shall be no thieves or extortionists in my army. The soldier sighs sadly. As you say, Commander. We going to talk about it, or... Oh my lord! Who are you? Who are you? You must be unrelated to the previous event. Okay, hello. An impressive procession makes its way towards you. It is led by a devil, richly arrayed in fine clothing, closely followed by his servants. They survey those around them with disinterest, but as the devil approaches you, he gives a nod and a slight satisfied smile, as if finally finding something of importance. The famous Commander of Dresden. News of you has reached even our depths. My lord has taken an interest in you and has sent me to make you an offer. You notice the devil's clawed fingers are covered in rings. He puts a hand on his chest. Call me Melies, Commander. I think our acquaintance will be extremely interesting. We have so much to offer each other. I have my, as you denizens of Golarion would put it, people with me. Of course, none of my soldiers are actually people, in the strictest sense of the word, but all of them are ready to kill demons. Why do your devils look... Well, what were you going to say? How did you get into Dresden, demon? He's going to say, I'm not a demon, I'm a devil. But we might as well have the conversation. The devil chuckles, revealing his sharp white fangs. You are not without a sense of humor, Commander. A rare thing among Crusade leaders. I find they are so used to treating everyone with suspicion that they lose the ability to make a joke. A demon of all things. I haven't been called that for a long time. I appreciate a good joke, but between ourselves, don't ever call a devil a demon again. Some might take offense. I enter Dresden the same way everyone does when they come to participate in the Crusade. Through the main gate. Where are you from? From hell, Commander. To be more precise, from Cana, the abode of Lord Mephistopheles, the Merchant of Souls. Cana is a kingdom of eternal darkness and endless torture, but our interests go beyond the infliction of suffering. Attracting the attention of the Lord of Cana could mean some interesting new business opportunities for you. Alright, who is this guy? The Archdevil Mephistopheles is the ruler of Cana, the 8th layer of Hell, where he keeps many of Hell's greatest secrets and contracts. Mephistopheles originated as the consciousness of Hell itself, predating Asmodeus' discovery of the plane. When Asmodeus and his followers entered Hell following their exodus from heaven, Asmodeus travelled to Cana and tore Hell's very flesh from its bones, reshaping it into a being he named Mephistopheles. The newly formed entity, the first true devil pledged to oppose Asmodeus' enemies as if they were his own, and became one of Asmodeus' closest lieutenants. Okay, where was I? Why do your devils look like normal people? An excellent question, Commander. I think you know the answer. Not all Crusaders are experienced enough to distinguish a devil from a demon. They might even go after a tiefling who happens to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. We want to gain their trust, not arouse fear and suspicion. That's why my subordinates look the way they do. They need to appear as non-threatening as possible. Isn't your appearance unusual for an ordinary devil? The devil looks down at himself. Do you mean my jewelry? Well, I'm not one to begrudge myself anything. We may be strict disciplinarians in hell, but that doesn't mean we are all aesthetics. Or ascetics? Ascetics. Failed a lore religion check. Oh wow. Okay. We were really close. Okay. You seem to be very curious about my appearance, Commander. Are you hoping to find something suspicious, or do you just like my rings? Not that it really matters. I didn't come here to discuss fashion. What offer do you wish to make me? You get straight to business. I like that. What do you mean I get straight to business? I just asked you 20 questions before now. But anyway, I must admit, of all the things to happen throughout Golarion's history, the Crusades aren't all that exciting. However, they do have their potential. Any war could mean hundreds, thousands of deaths. The longer the war, the more doubt is sown in the minds of the soldiers, and in the end they are left only with their banal, primal instinct to survive. Is this not so? Crusaders must seek victory, but to seek victory they must believe it is possible to achieve. What can sustain that belief, Commander? The knowledge that they are protecting those left behind at home? The devil looks at you with mock tenderness. Not impossible, but for those who have someone waiting for them, and a home for which they can return. But what will sustain those who are on their own? You don't need to answer. I will tell you. Strength. The knowledge they are superior to the enemy, and I'm ready to give your soldiers this strength. On one condition, of course. You're offering strength to my soldiers, in return for what? In return for the only payment that has any real value in hell. Their souls. Malise holds up a finger to forestall any possible objection. I know what you are thinking. This devil is going to lure me into his web of deceit and entrap me. To avoid any such disputes or complaints from either side, my contracts always include a complete list of all the terms and conditions. Deception is not in my nature. Truth be told, I'm too lazy. Over the many centuries of my life, I have come to realize that deceit is never worth the effort. It's much easier to suggest something beneficial to everyone involved. People line up for those kinds of contracts, and I don't even have to exhaust myself convincing anyone. I can leave you a copy, and you will see that it complies with the letter of the law down to the smallest detail. Moreover, payment is delayed for as long as possible. I collect the soul only after death, but the stronger the soldier, the more likely they are to survive battle. So if you think about it, the contract actually increases their chances of staying alive, by making it less likely they'll die. Wouldn't you agree? I'm asking for your permission to make contracts with soldiers current in the territory of Dresden, as well as with other types of persons, as long as they are legally capable adults, of sound mind and memory. What will happen to the souls of those who read the contract? As you have already guessed, they will go to hell, they will suffer, and they will serve one of the archdevils. Sounds terrible, doesn't it? But think about it a different way. If a person of sound mind and memory signs such a contract, they probably think their situation in Golarion is not much better than what awaits them in hell. Besides, those who are cruel enough and inclined to evil, and believe me, there are many of those among your soldiers, will get a chance in hell to work their way up from an ordinary lemur, a creature of hatred, to a devil like myself. It's likely these people will end up with us anyway, but thanks to the contract, they'll be able to use their new strength to serve you while they're still alive. I want to read the contract. I don't think we're going to say yes, but I want to read it. Of course. Elias hands you a sheet of parchment covered in tiny cuneiform script. Enjoy your reading, Commander. If you have any doubts, show it to your advisors. They will confirm that the contract is written in full compliance with the law down to the last letter. Alright. Material Plane, Planet of Golarion, Kingdom of Menda, Fortress of Dresden. Contract for the provision of special powers. Number whatever, dated whatever. Contract is an agreement between blank hereinafter the Soul Seller and blank hereinafter the Soul Buyer. Upon signing this contract, the Soul Seller and the Soul Buyer shall agree to abide by the following provisions. Hell, and Lord Asmodeus, represented by the Soul Buyer, shall issue a loan to the Soul Seller in the form of abilities of a magical nature. These abilities shall exceed those of an average mortal mage, and shall be granted for the full duration of the remaining period of the Soul Seller's life up until the moment of the Soul Seller's death. The Soul Seller shall be obliged to Hell and Lord Asmodeus, represented by the Soul Buyer, to surrender the Soul Seller's own soul to the Soul Buyer fully and indivisibly in perpetuity at the moment of the Soul Seller's death. The Soul Buyer shall be obligated to collect the soul of the Soul Seller in the moment of the Soul Seller's death and deliver it to Hell, where the soul shall be engaged in the service of Lord Asmodeus for all eternity. The Soul Seller is under obligation not to use the abilities obtained as a result of signing this contract against the Soul Buyer and or the Soul Buyer's representatives. Any breach of the fourth clause of this contract shall incur a penalty in the form of immediate collection of the Soul Seller's soul by the mortification of the Soul Seller. Upon execution of the third clause of this contract, Hell, represented by devils and archdevils, is free to do with the Soul Seller's soul what it deems appropriate. All complaints regarding the post-mortem handling of the soul in Hell shall be deemed invalid. Soul Seller, Soul Buyer, date of signing. I hereby consent to the above agreement regarding the procurement and processing of the Soul Seller's soul, and do hereby affirm that the signature in this contract is the Soul Seller's true personal name, signature of the Soul Seller, blank, glory to Lord Asmodeus. Okay. I'm just reading through this again. At no point does this say that the Soul Buyer couldn't just kill the Soul Seller and then take the soul. Right? Yeah. Yeah. So let me see. So first point says you get abilities until the end of the Soul Seller's life, right? Or for the Soul Seller's life up until the Soul Seller's death, right? Point 1, you get abilities. Point 2, obligated, represented by Soul Buyer to surrender the Soul Seller's own soul, the Soul Buyer. So, at the end of their life, the Soul Seller has to give your soul over to the Soul Buyer, right? So that's fine. Number 3, Soul Buyer is obligated to collect the soul at the moment of the Soul Seller's death and deliver it to Hell. So, abilities, die. You give soul to Soul Buyer takes soul to Hell. Okay, you serve for eternity. Soul Seller is under obligation not to use abilities against the Soul Buyer. At no point does it say that the Soul Seller could not just simply kill the Soul Buyer. Yes. Okay. Well, that doesn't seem good. What if I don't want to deal with the devil? You can deny me the right to sign contracts. In fact, you can forget about my existence entirely. However, you cannot banish me from Dresden. I came to participate in the Crusade, which is open to everyone by order of Queen Galfrey. Believe me, the last thing I want is to irritate the commander of Dresden. However... Malise lowers his voice and his yellow eyes stare at you unblinkingly. Since you decided to organize your own little crusade of justice in Dresden, won't you need someone well versed in law? We devils honor the law and follow it to the letter. The laws of Mendev dictate that within the fortress committed to their trust, the commander must hold tribunals before the representatives of the army, so you would likely see me at the hearings. Also, according to the laws of Mendev, I, as one of the officers, can speak about any case under consideration. Ah! This is what triggered the event? The military tribunal, maybe? Maybe that's what triggered this event? I promise not to take advantage of these rights, Commander. But you see, I am bored with the trials in hell. All the participants are too experienced. The procedure is cut and dried. No, I am interested in Mendevian law. I want to see history in the making. Our precedents occur, rules are written. It's a fascinating time we found ourselves in, don't you think? So many different crimes, so many different decisions, all the honorable crusaders who thirst for justice. I forbid you from signing contracts with my soldiers. I will not let them sign away their souls to hell. It seems like a fairly straightforward decision. The devil looks taken aback. Oh. Well. That seems somewhat hasty, but highly understandable and to be expected. However, I won't lose hope. If there's anything you wish to ask, Commander, I'll always be close by. You meant it, huh? You're gonna sit behind my back? Okay. Anevia, how do you feel about this? Look who it is. Hi, she says. Reg, you got anything to say about the devil? No, nobody cares about the devil behind us, huh? Hello. The devil greets you with a slight nod. He's clearly willing to talk. Commander, you can ask me anything. I like to educate mortals about my homeland and about devils in general. What will happen to a soldier who signs your contract? Interesting and unusual things. The devil who signs the contract, acting on the behalf of hell, is obliged to give the mortal, herein referred to as the soul seller, strength surpassing the abilities of mortals, until the moment of death. At that moment, the soul seller's death, their soul is collected by the devils, in full compliance with the Section 3 of the agreement. It will henceforth be considered the property of hell, which shall have full ownership of the soul for all eternity. Furthermore, the devils and archdevils on behalf of hell have the right to do with such property as they see fit. You can always familiarize yourself with the small print by reading a sample of the contract. Don't worry, Commander. We only sign contracts with those who are legally capable, adult persons of sound mind and memory, or at least those who consider themselves as such. You can look over the full text in this copy of the agreement. We've already got it. Alright, tell me about yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? I'm always willing to talk about myself. I am called Melies. I am a devil. I serve the archdevil Mephistopheles. I've arrived with my unit from Cana, the 8th level of hell. Lord Mephistopheles is extremely interested in the Crusade. He is confident that there are many contracts to be made here, all of a mutually beneficial nature, of course. Tell me about Cana. Cana, the skeleton of hell. It is all bones and no flesh. Nothing there is in excess, and still it's mysterious. Darkness, cages, and platforms hanging in the emptiness. Giant spikes with bases hidden in the gloom. Giant monoliths connected by a complex network of bridges. It can appear as though Cana has no earth or sky. There are clouds of smoke above and darkness below. Yet Cana is inhabited by an assortment of fascinating demons. Ice Gelugons, or devils. Sorry, I said the wrong one. We're not allowed to get devils and demons mixed up. Devils, Ice Gelugons, Demavigas, which haunt the arrogant. Those are as useful as they are amusing. Tell me about hell. What's it like there? Thank you for asking. That's an excellent question. The devil smiles, revealing his sharp fangs. Hell is a place of existence unlike any other. It did not come into being on its own. It was made for a purpose. Its creator is unknown, but its purpose is unmistakably clear. Hell is a place where evil is made manifest, but there is also order. This is not the chaotic, senseless evil of the abyss. We do not torture or subjugate others because we revel in their suffering. No, we do this to fulfill our duty. If a soul entirely free of sin were to enter hell, we would have no power over it. We could only bow to such a soul in an admission of defeat. Strictly speaking, hell is not one plane, but 9 overlapping planes. Each one is ruled by an archdevil, and each one has its purpose. Thanks to our Lord Asmodeus, order reigns triumphant throughout the land. Perhaps you are not accustomed to such order, and it might appear overly harsh, but someone has to be a villain to preserve the balance. Wouldn't you agree? The demon smiles innocently, showing his long fangs. What's the difference between devils and demons? An excellent question, Commander. Devils differ from demons as much as dwarves differ from humans. We devils are creatures of discipline. Evil souls that go to hell are subjected to torture until they lose their memory, themselves, and everything that used to constitute their so-called personality. From the depths of humiliation, we are resurrected, renewed, and purified. The devil gestures to himself, the rings on his fingers glinting. Mighty, proud, this is a difficult path, but it gives us more strength and power than we could have ever dreamed of when we were merely worthless mortals. As for demons, they are just souls that were trapped in the abyss and became larvae. They would have remained meaningless lumps of flesh and slime, but someone, whose name has long been forgotten, conducted some experiments. They crossbred larvae with the Quipwath, the native inhabitants of the abyss. Then the abyss itself reproduced the results of these experiments, creating more of the creatures. You've seen the results. The devil winces. Chaotic, evil creatures, slaves to their passions. Do you remember who you were before you became a devil? The devil looks at you curiously. No one has ever asked me that before. If I were not a creature of evil, I might even find such a question touching. Unfortunately, I can't give you an answer. Devils don't remember such trifles. I am a spawn of suffering, rage, and hatred. In a flash of white fire, everything else was burned out of me. I consider it a reward. I am proud that I have passed through those trials with honor. Is there any way to become a devil without going through torture? The devil gives a deep, resounding laugh and claps his hands. Oh, Commander, I haven't met such a resourceful mortal in a long while. Well, I can't say there are no ways around it, but you do understand. It's a delicate situation, and such a special offer isn't extended to just anyone. He looks at you more seriously. Maybe for someone extraordinary, someone who proved their worth during their lifetime, I could, well, it's too early to discuss that. I would need time to look into things further. I want to ask about something else. I have to go. I'll always be close by, Commander, if there's anything else you wish to ask. Okay, well, cool. We have a devil friend now. That was unexpected. I gotta say that the flaming sword and the flaming wings were not expected, but there you have it. This is the only thing we can afford, Royal Parade. It gives us increased income. Takes 7 days to solve. There's absolutely no reason to wait on it because we don't have resources for anything else. There we go. Do it. Might as well just do it. It gives us something, which nothing else does right now. Right. Time to go and find a way to get our levels back. Now, we might not have enough money, which would be the main negative. However, we should, at the very least, be able to use restoration to get some of our levels back. So we'll see what we can do about that.
Follow me.
Right. Do we have anything right now to get levels back? No. Not as such. Not as such. Okay, so I need to go to the cleric and see if the cleric's got anything for us, basically. That's fine. Over here. Exit. I wish to go to the temple. Hopefully it takes me outside the temple and not inside the temple. Nope. Okay. Outside and we're almost there, I'm sure. There we go. Hello. I could use the help of a cleric. I would very much like, one, some of these rings that you've got, because they're very good. But two, I would very much like your, not resurrection, not raise dead, your restoration spells. There we go. Oh, these don't even cost that much. Okay. We know we need at least 4. Let's buy 4 more. Yeah, we'll buy 8. There we go. It's probably overbuying, but that's okay. Oh, also, while I'm here, the bulk selling, nothing to sell. Okay. We need to buy these scrolls of restoration. There's no choice right now, unfortunately. Because we need to reduce we need to get rid of these levels. I have to use multiple scrolls per level. That's horrible. Or sorry, multiple scrolls for multiple levels. Yeah, it's not looking good. Darren, let's get your level back as well. Cool. Stila, we'll get your level back. As me used 4. Oh, I guess I did need 4. That's fine. I must have already realized that in my head. Right, so now we've done that. Have we done everything that we need to do in Dresden? I think the answer might actually be yes. We might have finished everything that needs to be done in Dresden. My god, that was a lot of stuff. I'm not complaining. It was fantastic. Oh, you know what? We haven't. Because there's one person we haven't spoken to yet. The Arcane Weaver. Because the Arcane Weaver is a shop. We just couldn't speak to them because they were currently being blackmailed. Let's see what they have to say to us now. Hello. Also, they lost their name. I just want to point out, no name anymore. Now they're just Arcane Weaver. Whenever the wearer of this robe uses divine power to summon a creature, they can choose to give these creatures attacks either holy or unholy special quality. Okay, well I found something for Darren. Or at least our Darren. This shirt grants the wearer a +5 competency bonus to athletics check and fire resistant 30. That's pretty nice as well. Gloves of the Ambassador. Knowledge World. Persuasion and Charisma. That's also a Darren item for us. Whenever they land a hit on an enemy for the first time in a round, they must pass a fortitude save of DC 29 or be partially skinned. Those who fail the save become staggered and take 2 points of con damage. Ooh. Partially skinning people is a phrase I didn't think I'd see. If the wearer of this robe has a key pool, the robe increases it by 2. If the wearer is of lawful alignment, it gets +2 on attack rolls against chaotic enemies. It could only be worn by a monk. What are you currently wearing? You get +2 on attack and damage rolls with unarmed attacks, which I think we found out yours probably counted as, but we can probably double check that. What's Celestial Protection? Was it +5 resistance bonus on saving throws against demons, a +5 competency on low religions checks. Okay, the low religion check stuff I quite like. I want to unselect LAN. I guess I can't. That's fine. Bonus whenever the wearer is polymorphed. Immunity to fire. Whenever the wearer of this cloak channels energy to harm undead for the next 2 rounds, they become surrounded with a flame shield that deals 1d6 plus character level fire damage to attackers for successful melee attacks against the wearer. I guess that would be for our Soasil? Yeah, there's some interesting stuff we could do here. Gloves of Dueling. Probably don't need that, but that's okay. Yeah, okay. Anything else you got? You got some scrolls. None of them seem particularly needed, but this is where I get arcane scrolls, I guess. What is that? Scroll of the Soul Reaver. I'm just wondering why it looks so different. I can do 20d6. Okay, that's a reason for it to be different, I guess. We got a couple of wands in there as well, and then nothing else. Cool. I need to test something with LAN. Does this actually give you plus to your... Yeah, does this actually give you a plus to your attack and damage rolls? No. Okay, so that does not give on plus to attack and damage. Okay, so it would only apply to unarmed. So right now, this is a +1 dodge bonus thing he's wearing. Okay, so the other one would probably be pretty good for LAN. Right. Now we have done that, I'm going to do my shortcut. It's going to do a little bit of loading, but that's okay. Yep, does this loading screen. Which is absolutely fine. We can just close out here. Look at that. I've made it back in here. We didn't use any time. Isn't that an amazing little secret?
Let us be off.
Oh, can I speak to my Aeon mentor again? Hello. I completed your quest. Nope. Okay. That's fine. Did that finish our Aeon thing, by the way? Or find the... yes, it did. Okay, but it didn't. We haven't found all the guilty in Dresden. Oh no. Do I need to convict all of my party members and kill them? I'd rather not. Right. I believe we have now done everything. Let's do a little quest check, because it's been a while. Can't do. Currently in the middle of, so building the main stables we haven't actually got to yet, but we're kind of in the middle of all of this. That's fine. Crescent of the Abyss, we're waiting on Woljif. Nameless Ruins, we're waiting on finding things. Burden of the Aeon, well, I guess we're waiting on new people to, you know, accuse. Green Gates. So this is one of the main quests, right? Is it? The succubus named Arushale claims that she is trying to renounce evil, but will she find acceptance on the other side? Okay. What should one do when a demon claiming to be a friend invites you to a deserted place in the forest, promising you'll find the answer to an enticing mystery there? Okay, so Arushale gave us this one. That's fine. Issue an order that will allow Erebeth to spend more time among the common soldiers. We have that ready, we just haven't done it. Search for traces of unusual demon activity. Yeah, okay. well, we can't really do a lot with that. Find out how the demons are sneaking into Crusader territory. So that'd be Molten Scar. Find the missing Crusaders. Okay. Dragon hunt. Go and hunt a dragon. Secrets of creation. Go to the heart of mystery. Yeah, well, we can't quite do that yet, but at some point we could. I just noticed that's under Sword of Valor. Interesting. Under that section. The outcast is Kaelessa, and then for the rest of it, we have nothing. Okay, cool. Oh wait, no, Sword of Valor I think was the name of that. Was the name of the act. Never mind. Right, outside. Area exit. Yes. Right. Who are we taking with us? Camellia has to come with us. Reg is going to come with us. Sela. Darren. Okay. I mean, the only one we could switch out is Darren and Soasil, maybe. Reg we could switch out for Soasil. Or Greybore, but I don't want to bring him along if there's a potential timer, because from my experience, the best way to avoid timers is just to never interact with the person. Lan could come along instead of Arushale, but Arushale is needed for her quest, potentially, if we do that. Ember could come along, but she can't come along. That's fine. Because she would come along in place of Camellia, but she can't come along in place of Camellia because Camellia is stuck there. So basically, she could take the role of either Camellia or Arushale, but they're stuck. I guess you could take the role of Reg as well, but like I like her having more frontliners, at least right now. Same with this. Nenia was the exact same equation. She could take the place of one of these three, but they all have a position on it. Lan as well. So, yeah, I guess we're just going to click accept. I could bring along Soasil, just to do something different. Let's do it. I'm going to bring along Soasil for difference sake. I don't think he's going to be better. I just think it might be, you know, intriguing. Right. And with that, I am going to end the episode there. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.